One of the things important to highlight is that within the framework is built on a knowledge graph. We call it data command graph. This knowledge graph actually has the understanding of all context around every file or every folder or every user, so to speak. So around every file, you can know who has entitlement to that file. What's the permission look like? So even when you bring this data into Databricks, you can still refer entitlement information if you choose to by looking up in this data command graph. We can work through to actually register some of these things in Unity catalog and all. Essentially, this is what it's doing. As you can see it visually, you define the logic of what kind of unstructured data you want to bring in. It does have the data command graph, certainly has all the context around each and every object that you're trying to bring in, because that intelligence around the context that only that system knows. Like if a file is within SharePoint, that system knows what's the context of this file with respect to permissioning and so forth. And of course, because we're analyzing the file, it has also understanding of what is sensitive inside the file. All that context is brought in, and using that graph engine, you can define the subset of data that you want to sync and keep syncing over time. It gives you the selection kind of capability. As the data is coming in, it's on the fly. Before it lands into Databricks, it gets cleaned. So you can clean this data, essentially, before it gets into your workloads. It can be cleaned up, essentially. You sanitize the data, and you can define the logic of removing any sensitive information from the data itself, right? And the other important part is while you're building these AI pipelines, you have full visibility on different AI projects, what kind of data has been brought in, what is sensitive in that data, and which is literally the full provenance, the lineage information that you would want, that it also needs to be captured kind of along the way. Out of this, there's a checker on the top that if you want to satisfy your governance or compliance requirements, you can define policies and checks on top of it to basically prove out that you would meet certain criteria and conditions, and you can define those rules and so forth, and the checker can actually verify those things. And if you need to provide this as evidence to your compliance teams and other teams, they often will come to you for good reasons to make sure this is all safe and compliant. It's very easy to actually just pass on that information to them. Now, along the way, if you want to bring in the permission information, that is also can be passed along. Why? Because the application that you're building on the other side, you may want to honor the permissions of the source applications. If whatever permissions are there in the source applications like Google Drive or SharePoint or Box or other things, you want to bring that permission information in. If you want to utilize it, that can be passed along to be utilized to make sure you're honoring the permissions and so forth. Of course, this is at the highest level, the GenCore sync capability. If you look at the stack-wise, this is what it's really doing. You can have these connector integrations and define your logic for cleaning this information. And of course, this data will end up in Databricks and so forth. And if you wanted to enforce and build layers above it, you can do that by yourself or using Databricks, or there is within GenCore, there's capability to integrate with Slack or other web interfaces and chatbots and all so forth, where you can actually layer this thing above to create your experience layer, so to speak, on things that you're trying to do within Databricks. You can do that with the help of a UI, or you can do that just with code, where a lot of your developers, you just want to basically invoke the APIs or your notebook and others, and just use that to actually build these pipelines accordingly. So here you can see that you can just simply define the pipeline. You'll have a visual, of course, tied to it from the UI, but at the same time, if you choose to, you can simply invoke through your notebook or through your CLI to actually, once the connectors are set up, to do the selection of the data, to define what needs to be basically cleaned up, what needs to be detected in the data, to clean up the data, and of course, build the pipes along the way.